Hey loves, I'm Siska and you're welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a topic that affects us all, things we do that drains our motivation. Don't feel like you're constantly battling against a lack of motivation. Well,
you are not alone.
You're not alone. Sometimes the things we do or do not do can drain our motivation without us even realizing it. So let's go straight to those things that we could be doing that drains our motivation. One is negative self-talk. How many times do you catch yourself saying things like, oh, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough? Yeah, even I was guilty of that because I once felt like I'm not good enough, or I cannot start it then and see it to the end. And that really did a huge number on my self-confidence. But then I started making conscious effort to like change those things that I say to myself, to say to myself that if I'm actually determined to do this, I can do it. Yeah, that was when I started feeling good about myself and my self-confidence increased. So negative self-talk is not something you should engage yourself in. And the thing you need to do is that whenever you catch yourself in the act of saying negative things to yourself or even thinking about negative things about yourself, make conscious efforts to replace it with positive affirmations. Instead of saying I'm not good enough, you can say you are good enough, you are enough, you are just the right amount of being enough. I don't even know if that makes sense. Yeah. So the second one is lack of clear goals. Without clear goals to work towards, it is easier for you to feel aimless, it is easier for you to feel purposeless, and also to feel less motivated to do anything. So all you need to do is take some time to define your goals, big and small, and break them down into smaller actionable steps. For example, let's say you want to develop a reading habit or you want to start reading more. You're not someone that reads. You can start by saying, I'm going to read 3 minutes every day, or I'm going to read 3 to 5 minutes. Is okay, but you can start by saying, well, I'm going to read 3 minutes every day, and that's actually a great way to start. And before you know it, you're already building that reading habit. A good book I recommend for developing or building good habits and breaking old ones is Atomic Habits by James Clear. The book teaches you how to build good habits and break old ones. So having a clear roadmap gives you the motivation you need to keep moving forward. The third one is comparison trap, and all thanks to social media, it is now easier than ever for us to compare ourselves with other people, for us to see other people and feel like we are not good enough, or we're not doing good enough, or we are falling short. All thanks to social media, it is easier now. And I was also a victim of that with this my YouTube journey. When I started noticing that some of the YouTubers that I started around the same time with, or even started before, had already gone past me, I felt really down. Yeah, I felt down. But then I had to let that go because and turn it into a motivation for me by telling myself, okay, if these people can actually get to this point where I admire them and where I want to be in the future, if they can get to this point, which means I also can get to that point. I just need to put in the work. So whenever you find yourself in this comparison trap, just remember that everyone's journey is unique. They are who they are and you are who you are. You cannot compare yourself with them. You cannot compare your journey to their journey. You cannot compare your goals to their goals because they are totally different from you and you are totally different from them. And comparison is not a good thing. Apart from making you feel less motivated, comparison also saps your joy. It takes away your joy, your own joy, and it takes away your own happiness. So all you need to do is just focus on your own progress and celebrate those little wins, your small wins. Celebrate it because it is you who achieved it. Just like I celebrate every +1 subscriber I get and every view I get on my video, I celebrate it and I'm so happy, which means I am growing. Fourth one is procrastination. Yeah, procrastination, the master of all lack of motivation. You know what I mean? We've all been in that position where we procrastinate things. We are all guilty of putting things off until the last minute. I should have filmed this video like an hour ago, but I did a lot of unnecessary things until I had to tell myself that if you don't film this video, you're not going to be happy with yourself. And I know I'm not going to be happy with myself because it will lead to me criticizing myself. Yeah, so I had to get myself together and actually film this video. And the thing with procrastination is that it leads to stress and then it also leads to decreased motivation in the long run. So here's what to do when you're procrastinating things. You try as much as possible to break your task down into smaller manageable chunks and take them one after the other and try to do them one after the other. So what I did to overcome procrastination and actually film this video was I set up my lighting, I set up my tripod, I set up my microphone, and I set them up so that I'll be seeing them, and by seeing them it's like telling myself you need to do this, and if you don't do this, you're not going to be happy with yourself. So that was what I did. So that's just what you need to do whenever you find yourself procrastinating. Just look for it. It's not that you don't want to do it, it's just that maybe you're feeling overwhelmed to do it. So all you need to do is just to break it down into smaller steps, break it down into manageable chunks that you can do, and then you say that you'll get on with the task and eventually and do it perfectly well. The fifth one is lack of self-care. And the thing with lack of self-care is that when we neglect our physical being or neglect our mental being, it has a way of making us feel less motivated and making us feel unhappy with ourselves. Like in my previous video, I talked about how I was unmotivated to do anything, and that was because I wasn't feeling good about myself. I had acne, I had lost weight, and a lot of things that was making me not feel good about myself. But when I started taking actions into feeling better, my motivation came back and I started doing more things. So what you need to do with self-care is make sure you're taking the necessary rest, make sure you're recharging yourself, and make sure you're prioritizing your joy and happiness. Yes, focus on things that make you feel good, focus on things that make you feel happy about yourself. And remember that self-care is not selfish at all. It is essential. It is essential to be happy. It is essential to feel good about yourself. So always remember that. So there you have it, my loves. The things that you are doing or you could be doing that drains out your motivation. But the good news is awareness is the first step towards change. And now that you're aware of these behaviors, you can now start making small adjustments, reclaim your motivation, and start making progress towards achieving your goals, all your goals, and you'll be very, very happy with yourself. So thank you very much for watching this video, and if you haven't subscribed, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, and not only hit the subscribe button, there's a bell just beside it. Make sure to turn on the bell so that you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. And if you have any question for me, you can leave that in the comment section and I'll be very delighted to answer your questions. And if there's anything you want me to make a video about, please also leave that in the comment section and I'll be delighted to clarify you on anything you want, you need clarity on. Thank you very much, and stay blessed, stay productive, and stay motivated. Bye. See you again in my next video.